Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Winds of Dune by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. So, as always, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let's begin. This one's going to be pretty quick. I'm not even going to do a whole lot of spoilers because, to be honest, I really didn't like this book pretty much at all. It was a slog, it was a struggle, and this is why it took me so long to actually finish it. So, Winds of Dune is much like Paul of Dune in that it is just trying to fill in little gaps and little random filler points of the story that we already know. So the Dune saga already is as it is, and it's fairly tight despite some significant time jumps. So Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson figured, let's go ahead and try to stuff in some stuff. So the majority of this book is really about what Jessica was doing during the time leading up to when Paul walked into the desert. And on top of that, it's also told in a near anthological sort of way, in that we have Jessica telling the story about Paul again when he was young with one of his friends. And that story itself centers around an assassination plot because there's not already enough assassination plots in Dune, right? But the whole thing feels so much like bad anime filler to me because the whole thing takes place when Paul is really young, and it's with a character we barely see unless he pops up later in the main saga that I haven't seen. Like, it's a character that's like barely a character, and it's an event that has no stakes because we know he lives later, and it's a situation that basically has no stakes because Caladan is almost a non-entity. So it just all feels like extra, and it feels like bad filler, and it's boring, and I don't like it. And I just was complaining over and over, like just trying to get through it. I just wanted to get through it out of being basically a completionist. I just want to get through as many as possible. But I think now what I'm going to do with Dune is basically finish the primary saga and then pick and choose the past stuff, like the Butlerian Jihad and all that kind of stuff that are so completely removed from the main saga that it won't feel like bad filler. Because, as I said, that is my biggest issue with this book. It feels like filler. There's so much in it that has so little stakes, it has almost no meaning or repercussions or anything like that, that it makes it feel worthless. So yeah, I guess I'm going to keep this video quite short and quite like straight to the point. I didn't care for it. It felt like bad anime filler, and I think it's just extra. It's extra for the sake of being extra. It really feels just like trying to hang on to the coattails of the Dune IP, and I don't like it. Maybe there's some stuff in here that could have been pulled, and Denis Villeneuve could have used some of it or something like that. Maybe not, but I think maybe later on, in like maybe the second one or the third one, whichever one, when we get to like Dune, Messiah or Children of Dune kind of era, like maybe you could pull some of the Jessica information in order to kind of fill in other scenes when we cut back and forth and that kind of thing. Like maybe you can use it from a directorial perspective, but in general, as just a story that's part of the Dune universe, that's supposed to be a part of the chronology of Paul Muad'Dib Atreides, like it's so disappointing, especially considering all the great philosophy that exists in the other books and all the second and third layered information that is just all permeated all the way through the world building and stuff. I mean, we get a little bit of world building here. We get to see a little bit more Caladan than we ever got to see before. But it's just generic Earth-like, and it's just, I don't know, it was so disappointing. It almost makes me want to kind of, I don't know, wait a little bit. I don't know. I have to deal with it, and I'm going to jump straight over to God Emperor Dune. So I'm excited to start that one because I really want to know what's going on with Leto II. So we're definitely going to jump into that one. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up now, I guess. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will talk to y'all next time. Peace.